I hate goddamn thieves.
Hell yeah. Another Actress 364 production on its way right now.
What's up, everybody? So it's Thursday, about 4:15. I shot this video last night at about 10 o'clock. No Homebrew Wednesday updates, but you can see how screwed up my last week has been. This little story about it. Also, wanted to create an intro before I uploaded the video, so that's why that's part of the reason for the delay. I'm experimenting with new intros. This is just one option. And then some more will be on its way. But anyway, enjoy the video. What's going on, everybody? Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, March 7th. It's about 10 o'clock at night. It's late Homebrew Wednesday. But like the last several weeks, I've got nothing to report. The last several days has been a series of very unfortunate events in my little universe. First, I'm going to give you all the long story. You'll have to listen to it. But it just shows how shitty March has been so far. On Saturday, I went to breakfast like I do every Saturday. And my apartment was different when I got back than it was when I left it. Not only was my TV missing, but the lights that I had left off were turned on, some of them. But other than that, the doors were still locked, windows were still shut and locked. And so I knew somebody had gotten into my apartment with a key. And there are only 3 keys to my apartment that I have. I've got one, my parents have one, and there's another one in safekeeping. But so I called my landlord. I didn't call the police because there was nothing broken into. And just, I'm not a big fan of cops. Anyway, the landlord said it's going to be Tuesday before they can get the locks changed. Figured that's fine. I'll just go over there more often and keep a more watchful eye. Talk to a couple of my neighbors and see if they'd seen anything. Whatever. So then Sunday rolls around, and my dad is in a biking group. They go ride their bikes 30 to 40 miles out in an area that doesn't have much traffic. And they've been doing this for like 5 or 6 years now. And never had any problems. I rode with them for a couple seasons. But they were halfway through their ride on Sunday. And their dogs, like wild dogs out in this area, it's kind of out in the country. And the dogs will some of them will just run with you. Others will try to chase you down and attack you. And others will flat out try to fucking tackle you. And you have, like, all the bikes Everybody in the group has pepper spray for the dogs. Just all kinds of shit like that. Well, anyway, this dog that normally was a runner, he would run for a mile at a full sprint and just stay with the group. Every time they rode by, just full sprint mile and then just walk back to where it came from. Never ventured into the road. Well, this time it went across the road right in front of my dad's bike group. And then instead of staying across the road, it cut back and went back to the original side of the road. And one of my dad's riding partners missed him, but my dad plowed right into him, going about 27 miles an hour. It was a downhill. And my dad got thrown from the bike. He broke his knee, his right knee, his right collarbone. There's a crack in his back somewhere. And even though he was wearing a helmet, he hit so hard he had pretty severe brain hemorrhaging, and so he'd been in the ICU since Sunday. And he got out yesterday. But he can't put any weight on his leg for like 6 or 8 weeks. So I'm having to go over to my parents' house and take care of him when my mom's not able to, when she's at work and stuff. Anyway, so that was Sunday. I went and visited him in the hospital on Monday. Sad, he was the only conscious person in the ICU. But he's in good spirits considering. Well, anyway, back to we'll skip up to Tuesday. So Tuesday rolls around, and I left my apartment in the morning to go to work. When I came back to meet the locksmith to get my new key at 4:15, I did a quick little walk through because I'd seen he'd gotten there shortly before me, and he'd gone in and used the bathroom and stuff, and so I just went in and did a quick little run through and noticed that my 2 very expensive bikes were missing. I had a Cannondale mountain bike that ran about $1,700, and a Scott road bike that ran probably about $1,100. They're in the back bedroom of my apartment, and they were gone. And the locksmith who works for the property managers had to unlock. He couldn't just walk in. He unlocked the door. He got there like 2 minutes before I did, so that was fine. But he unlocked the door, is the point. And when he went to take out the lock in the back door, he had to unlock that too. And there's no way you can get this big old mountain bike. It's probably 30, 40 pounds. There's no way you could just get that out the window. So I called the police. Well, when the police got there, they asked what was stolen, and I told them. And they had literally just left a call at a bike shop about 2 miles away from the apartment. Somebody had called the bike shop and told them that they had 2 really nice bikes to sell. But the way they said it raised some eyebrows at the bike shop, and they normally don't even buy bikes from people. But after the lady was describing the bikes, they got her to come in. And when they got there, when the bikes got there, they called the police. And once they started acting suspicious towards the suspect got back in the truck and left. Well, those same cops that responded to that call responded to my call. And once I described the bikes that were missing, the color, scratches it had on it, components that I'd put on it that were specific to that bike, stuff like that, they realized that the two cases were the same case. And the bike shop had given them a description of the suspect, and they asked if I knew anyone who fit that description, and it ended up being my neighbor. And so they went and talked to her, and she sang like a songbird. Literally, she admitted to possessing them. She never admitted while I was in her presence. She never admitted to actually going into my apartment. But I later found out today that was not the first time she'd done that. But anyway, the bike store employees had to come down to my apartment and identify her. And once they did, she was put in the back of a cop car. Still as a witness, because they couldn't prove that she'd done anything. This all started at 4:15 that afternoon when I met the locksmith. The cops are now here. It's like 5:15 when the employees get there. And the bike store closes at 6. And so we had to go to the bike store and wait on the crime scene people. And I also had to identify my bikes, but the crime scene people printed my bikes. I identified them that yes, they were mine. New bubbler. I identified them that yes, they were in fact my bikes. And the bike store employee and myself had to go downtown to the jail / courthouse / justice building or whatever, and give our statement to the felony response unit. And they were interrogating her while talking to us. The bike store employee was able to leave like after an hour of being down there and giving a statement. And my statement lasted like 2.5 hours. But we got full lights and sirens down there. We each had to be in separate cop cars, but they drove us down there so we didn't have to spend our gas. So it was cool. But yeah, they closed the case. They've got her fingerprints on my bike. They've got her fingerprints on my door. They found out that basically she had stolen the master key from the caretaker of the building. Basically, there's an on-site guy who, if you get locked out, you can you don't have to call the landlord. If anything goes wrong with the building that's not like something major breaking, this guy will take care of. Basically, the lady stole the key from him, went on Saturday and scoped out my apartment and took the TV and the bunny ears that were on it, rabbit ears. And after that, she went back to the caretaker's house or apartment and was talking to him and slipped the key back where it went. And then on Tuesday, when I left for work, is when she basically stole my bikes and whatever. And she had done the same thing with the stealing of the key. And then she broke the window in my bathroom to make it look like that's where they got in. She has been charged with aggravated burglary, possession of stolen property, theft, $1,000 to $10,000 worth of stuff. Everything she stole from me was worth probably about $3,500. So it was, what she did was a major felony. And then her roommate, who drove her to the bike shop to sell the bikes, was charged with conspiracy to commit burglary, possession of stolen property, and then their truck was impounded, was seized because it was involved in a felony. If any of them are ever seen on the property again, they'll get criminal trespassing added to their charges. But anyway, got all that squared away today. Picked up my bikes today from the bike shop. The only thing left is the TV and a vacuum cleaner. But they said it'd probably be a while if I ever got those back. She pawned the vacuum cleaner, and she said she pawned the TV, but they think it was in her apartment. But they just gotta track it down and make sure it's mine and whatnot before I can get it back, if I ever get it back. I've got to go testify against her in court, so that'll be fun. But she's sitting in jail, so is her roommate. And their child, who's 14, is sitting in rehab for cocaine and heroin. So that whole family is fucked up. But all the stars aligned. Everything fell into place where karma was super on my side. If I had left the office just a few minutes later, the cops would have probably already left the bike shop and they wouldn't have responded to my call. They might have gotten another call. Just everything that went right could go right. And so while it sucks that my shit was broken into, how many times can you say that not only were your bikes stolen, but they were recovered within an hour, and the person was in jail within 3 hours? So it ended up being pretty good, and they were a shitty tenant, and so the landlord now has reason to kick them out, so they won't be around anymore. So, sorry for the long video. I've just been drinking water and shit today. It's been just such a stressful couple days that I haven't had time to think about brewing. I started building a puppet, which I'm going to shoot a video on it sometime tonight. It's almost done. But, still got a few things left to do on it. But I'm going to shoot a video of some of my progress and throw up a couple pictures of the progress. But other than that, that's really all I got. Sorry for the long, boring shit, but justice was served. My dad's gonna be okay, and there's always tomorrow. So when you think you're having a shitty day, just go back and watch this video and act like it's happening that day. You'll feel a whole lot better. But y'all take care, and we'll see you on the flip side.